My name is Areeba, and I'm 27 years old. I'm not telling you this to sound dramatic. I'm telling you because the day everything fell apart, the first thing I remember thinking was, Areeba, you're old enough to know better. I grew up in a very ordinary home. Not poor, not rich. Just the kind of family where you learn early that nothing comes easy. And if you want something, you build it with your own hands. I studied, worked part-time, and then got a job in marketing. I wasn't the loud boss babe type. I was the quiet grinder, the one who stays late, fixes the mess, and doesn't talk about it. That's how I met Haris. He was charming in a soft way, not flashy. He had that I'm serious about life vibe. When we met, he was trying to start a small business. He had a big dream but not enough structure. The way he spoke made you believe he was just one lucky break away. I don't know why, but I believed him like it was my responsibility. We started talking more. Coffee after work, long voice notes at night, little future plans that felt harmless. He told me about his family issues, his financial pressure, how people always expected him to do something big but nobody actually helped him. And me, I became the helper at first. It was small. Can you check my proposal? Can you review my pitch? Then it became, can you introduce me to your friend? Can you help me with branding? Then, finally, it became money, very politely wrapped in guilt. He didn't say, give me money. He said, if I can just stabilize this month, I can finally breathe. So I did it. Once, then again. I told myself, this is what partners do. Because by then, we weren't just talking. We were serious. He said he wanted to marry me. He even spoke to my family. He looked my mother in the eyes and said he would keep me happy. And I remember how proud my mother looked, like she was finally convinced that I was safe. That's the dangerous part about love. It doesn't just attach to your heart. It attaches to your family's hope too. Over the next year, I supported him in ways I didn't even count anymore. I helped him build his client proposals. I designed his social media strategy. I wrote his email templates. I even coached him before meetings. What to say, how to say it, what not to promise. And when the business finally started to work, everyone praised him. Wow, Haris is doing so well. He's so hardworking. He's a self-made man. I'd smile. Because love makes you feel proud to disappear behind someone else's success. Quick pause. If you like real, emotional stories like this, please hit subscribe right now. Trust me, this story gets crazier. When Haris proposed properly, it was simple, not cinematic, but sincere. He held my hands and said, Areeba, you're the reason I'm standing. I'll spend my life proving I deserve you. Those words stayed in my head like a promise stamped in ink. We started wedding planning. My family was happy. His family acted happy too. But I noticed something. His mother was never warm with me. She wasn't rude, just cold, like she was tolerating me. Haris always defended it. She's just stressed. She's old-fashioned. She'll love you once you're in the house. I ignored my instincts because I wanted peace. Then, a strange thing happened. Haris started getting busy. Too busy. He stopped sharing details. Stopped asking my opinion. Stopped letting me inside the parts of his life where I used to live. When I'd ask, he'd say, baby, don't overthink. This is just pressure. One night, I saw his phone light up. A message preview. I didn't even want to read it. It just flashed on the screen while he was in the shower. But my eyes caught one word. Nita. My stomach tightened. When he came back, I asked calmly, "Who's Nita?" He didn't panic. He didn't fumble. He laughed, like I was silly. "Just a client's assistant." "Why?" I nodded, tried to believe him. But over the next weeks, that name kept appearing, in small ways. A comment under his post, a scene reaction at weird hours, a call he'd step away to take. Every time I asked, he had an answer ready. Then I started noticing something worse. He had started treating me like a support system, not a person. Like my job was to keep him stable, quiet, and confident. If I had a bad day, he'd say, "Now is not the time, Areeba." If I needed reassurance, he'd say, "Stop being negative." I told myself it was wedding stress. I told myself love requires patience. But one day, a friend sent me a screenshot. It was from Nita's Instagram story. A blurred picture of a man's hand holding a coffee cup across a table. And the caption said, "Some promises are worth keeping." Soon, I knew that hand. I had held that hand and my heart didn't break loudly. It broke silently, like something inside me went cold. I confronted Haris that night. He stared at the screenshot for 2 seconds. Then he said, "You're stalking me." I was stunned. "That's your response?" He sighed, irritated. "Areeba, stop creating drama. You want to ruin everything right before the wedding?" I felt like I was arguing with a stranger wearing my fiance's face. I asked him, one last time, directly, "Is there something you're hiding from me?" He looked me in the eyes and said, "No, I love you. That's all." I wanted to believe him so badly that I became my own liar. The wedding was set. The hall was booked. The clothes were stitched. My mehndi was planned. People had started calling us the perfect couple. And I was walking towards a day I didn't know would become the most humiliating day of my life. If you're still watching, subscribe. Because what happened next on my wedding day, I still replay it like a nightmare. On the morning of my wedding, I woke up before my alarm. Not because I was excited, because my body knew something was wrong. You know that feeling when your chest is heavy but you can't explain why? Like your mind is smiling but your instincts are crying. That was me. Make-up artists arrived. My cousins were running around. My mother was emotional in a beautiful way, hugging me again and again like she was sending me into a new life. I sat in front of the mirror while someone curled my hair and pinned my dupatta, and I tried to focus on the details. The scent of hairspray, the clinking of bangles, the soft voices behind me. But the whole time, my mind kept whispering, "Are you safe, Areeba? Are you safe?" Haris didn't call, which was odd, because he used to send at least one "I can't wait" message. I texted him, "Where are you? Everything okay?" No reply. I told myself, he's busy. It's the wedding. Relax. Then my phone rang, unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. A woman's voice said, "Are you Areeba?" Yes. There was a pause. The kind that feels like someone is deciding how much damage to do. Then she said, "I'm not calling to fight. I'm calling because you deserve to know." My throat went dry. "Who are you?" She exhaled. "I'm Nita." My hands went cold so fast I nearly dropped the phone. She continued, "Haris is not who you think. He is." I stood up so quickly the chair scraped. My cousin looked at me like, "What happened?" I waved her away. Nita said, "I didn't know about you at first. He told me he was single. Then I found out about the wedding. and I confronted him. My heart was pounding in my ears. So, why are you calling me now? Because he didn't choose you, she said bluntly. He chose. What benefits him? I couldn't speak. She said, he's been with me for months. He promised me he'd end things with you after the wedding because he needs your family's support for a business deal. He needs your father's connections. I felt like I'd been punched. I whispered, no, he wouldn't. Nita didn't sound happy. She sounded tired. I'm not proud of this, she said, but I'm telling you the truth. I have screenshots, voice notes, everything. My lips trembled. Send me. Within minutes, my phone flooded with proof, chats, calls, messages where he called her my future. A voice note where he said, just let the wedding happen. After that, I'll handle Areeba. It's complicated. My stomach turned. I ran to the bathroom and threw up, silently, because I didn't want anyone to hear. I stared at myself in the mirror. A bride. Gold jewellery, perfect eyeliner. And eyes that suddenly looked like they belonged to someone else. I wanted to scream, but my home was full of guests. My mother was smiling. My father was proud. I couldn't destroy my family's honor with a loud scene, so I did something that surprised even me. I became calm. I called Haris. Again. No answer. I texted, pick up now. Finally, he called back. His voice was annoyed. What is it? I'm busy, I said. Nita called me. Silence. Not confusion, not shock, silence. Then he said, slowly, she's crazy. I whispered, I have the voice note. Haris. Another silence. Then. His tone changed. Like he was done pretending. Areeba, he said. Don't make this difficult. Today is not the day. I felt my soul leave my body. So it's true. He sighed like I was inconveniencing him. Listen, just get through today. We'll talk later. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You want me to marry you while you're cheating? He snapped. It's not cheating. It's complicated. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was unreal. I said, you used me. He got quiet. Then said the words that finally killed the last bit of love I had. You knew. I was building myself. You chose to support me. Don't act like a victim now. My hands were shaking so badly I had to sit on the bathroom floor. I ended the call. Outside, music was playing. People were dancing inside. My life was burning. I had two choices. Stay silent. Marry him, and suffer later. Stop everything, and face the storm right now. I looked at my bridal dress, and I thought, if I walk into this marriage, I'll be burying myself alive, so I wiped my face, fixed my lipstick, and walked out like a bride who wasn't broken. Not yet. If you're watching this and your heart is racing, subscribe, because what I did next in the wedding hall, people still talk about. The wedding hall was bright, loud, full of eyes. I walked in slowly, holding myself like I wasn't falling apart. Everyone stood up to see the bride. Phones went up. Smiles spread. My mother's eyes filled with tears. Happy tears. I saw Haris at the stage. And when our eyes met, I saw something I'll never forget. Not guilt. Not fear, a control like he believed I wouldn't dare. He gave me a small smile. Almost a warning. I reached the stage. Photographers clicked. Auntie whispers floated around. She looks so pretty. Perfect couple. Haris leaned closer and muttered under his breath, don't embarrass me. That one sentence flipped a switch inside me. I realized he wasn't scared of losing me. He was scared of losing his image. I sat. The ceremony started. Then my phone vibrated. Nita had sent one last message. "Whatever you decide, I'm sorry. You deserved better." I inhaled deeply, and I stood up. The hall quieted a little, confused. Hari's eyes widened, just slightly. I picked up the mic from the side table, hands steady. My voice came out calm, almost too calm. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Areeba -27 years old, and I need 2 minutes. A wave of surprise rolled through the crowd. My mother stood up, panicking. "Areeba, what are you doing?" I looked at her gently. "Ami, please, just listen." Then I looked straight at Haris. "Haris," I said, "before this wedding continues, I want you to answer one question in front of everyone." He tried to laugh it off. "Now, Areeba, stop." I smiled. "Who is Nita?" The hall went silent in a way that felt physical. Haris' face froze. His jaw tightened. His mother stood up instantly. "What nonsense is this?" I didn't look away. "It's not nonsense. It's his reality," Haris hissed. "Areeba, sit down." I turned my phone screen towards him. "Do you want me to play your voice note?" His eyes flickered, fear. Finally, I didn't need to play it. His face admitted everything. Whispers started. People shifted in their seats. My father stepped forward, voice low but dangerous. "Haris, explain." Haris tried to speak, but his throat betrayed him. And then his mother did what some people do when caught. She attacked me. She shouted, "This girl is characterless. She's creating stories to cover her own issues." The hall erupted, half shocked, half gossiping. My mother was crying now. My cousin grabbed my hand, but I stayed standing, and I said clearly, "I have proof, and I will not marry a man who treats me like a stepping stone." Haris suddenly grabbed the mic, trying to control the narrative. He said, "Everyone, please. Areeba is stressed. She's overthinking. This is a private misunderstanding." I laughed softly. "Private? You made it public the moment you decided to betray me on my wedding day." Then something happened that I didn't expect. A man from the side of the hall stepped forward. He was tall, neatly dressed, calm. I knew him. Saad, my father's friend's son. We weren't close, but we'd met at family gatherings. He was always polite, always quiet. He walked up without drama and stood beside me, not touching me, not crossing lines, just present, like a wall. He looked at Haris and said, firmly, "Enough. Don't try to gaslight her in front of her family." The word gaslight made a few people blink, because it was too accurate, too modern, too sharp. Haris snapped. "Who asked? You?" Saad didn't flinch. A decent man doesn't need an invitation to stop a disgrace. Then Saad turned to my father. "Uncle," he said, with respect, "end this now. You don't need more proof than his face." My father's chest rose and fell. His hands were shaking with controlled anger. He looked at Haris and said one sentence, "Get off the stage." Haris tried one last time. "Uncle, please." My father stepped closer. "Now." Haris' friends pulled him back, quickly, before things got worse. His mother was shouting. His relatives were trying to leave. And me. I stood there in bridal clothes, in front of everyone, feeling strangely free. My mother hugged me hard, sobbing. "I'm sorry," she cried. "I'm sorry." I whispered, "Ami, you didn't do anything." The hall was chaos, but I had made my choice. And then Saad did the second thing I didn't expect. He leaned slightly towards me and said, quietly, Areeba, you did the right thing. Don't doubt yourself for 1 second. No flirting. No drama. No hero act. Asterisk just respect. If you're still here, subscribe. Because the ending is not what you think. The other man didn't hesitate, but not in the way people assume. Asterisk that night, I sat in my room still wearing part of my bridal dress. Makeup smudged. Jewelry heavy. Phone buzzing non-stop. People weren't calling to check on me. People were calling to collect a story. That's what betrayal does. It turns your pain into entertainment for others. My father shut his phone off. My mother kept praying, crying, and kissing my forehead like she was trying to undo time. And me, I felt empty. Not broken. Empty. Because the hardest part wasn't Hari's cheating. The hardest part was realizing I had built a future for a man who was never building one with me. The next morning, Hari sent a message. Not an apology. A threat. Disguised as a request. Areeba, let's fix this quietly. Don't ruin my reputation. I stared at the message for a long time and thought, he still thinks I'm responsible for protecting him. I replied with one line. You ruined your reputation. I just refused to be your victim. Then I blocked him. But of course, his family didn't. Stop. His mother called my mother and cried loudly, saying I was immature and emotional and trying to control her son. She even said, men have friends. It doesn't mean anything. Friends? Nita wasn't a friend. Nita was a mirror that showed me the truth. I spoke to Nita once more. Not to befriend her. Not to fight her. Just to close the chapter. I said, why did you really call me? She paused and said, because I realized he was using both of us, and I didn't want your life to be destroyed. I believed her, not because she was innocent, but because her voice carried regret, not arrogance. Then came the biggest surprise. Saad came to our house, with his mother and sister. Not for me. For my father. They came respectfully, privately, without gossip. Saad sat with my father and said, Uncle, I'm not here to propose. I'm here to offer support. People will talk, but you don't have to face it alone. If you need any help handling the community, the guests, the fallout, I'm available. That's when I understood the line. Another man didn't hesitate. He didn't hesitate to stand for what was right, without demanding anything in return. In our culture, sometimes a man helping a woman instantly becomes a romance story in people's minds. But real maturity isn't about turning a woman's pain into a love story. Real maturity is showing up with dignity. Over the next weeks, rumors came like rain. Some people praised me. Some blamed me. A few even said, she should have stayed quiet. It happens. And every time someone said that, something inside me hardened. Because if it happens as normal, then women will keep suffering in silence forever. I went back to work. I took a break from social media. I focused on rebuilding my confidence. In small ways. Gym, books, therapy videos, long walks. But at night, sometimes, the sadness returned. Not because I missed Haris, but because I missed the version of me who believed so purely. One day, my father asked me softly, do you regret stopping the wedding? I looked at him and said, Abu, I regret trusting him, but I don't regret saving myself. That was the turning point, not a new relationship. Not revenge, not a dramatic comeback, just a quiet decision. I will never beg someone to value me again. Months later, Saad messaged once. Respectfully. He said, "Hope you're doing better." No pressure to reply. Just wishing you peace. That's all. And I realized something. A good man doesn't rush into your broken pieces. A good man stands at a distance and says, "I respect you enough to let you heal." That's what he did in Haris. I heard his business struggled after the image cracked. The same people who praised him moved on to the next trending success story. Because people don't love you. They love the version of you that benefits them. And that day, on my wedding stage, I finally chose myself. If you want more real, intense stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. These stories aren't just entertainment, they're lessons. Now I want to ask you something. Honestly, did I do the right thing by stopping the wedding publicly? Or should I have handled it quietly? And if you were in my place, dressed as a bride, with your family watching, what would you have done? Tell me in the comments.